It's a multi-billion-pound industry based around one little problem that so many of us have and so many of us want to change. It's something that can be achieved, apparently, in many different ways through what we do, what we eat, what we drink, what we actually put inside our bodies, right through to what we wear and gadgets that we can use to achieve it. Strap yourselves in for this one, everybody, because on the Lean Life podcast today, we're talking about weight loss. Okay, so let's talk about weight loss in some detail today. I'm really fascinated by this topic, and having been in the industry now since 2007, helping people to achieve physical results, it's occurred to me that weight is such a big deal and that people have very, very emotional connections to this topic. We build it up to be something that it isn't. Okay, we see it as this really important thing that we all need to be achieving in order to feel happier, when really it isn't, because we might see weight loss as a way to increase our body confidence, to feel good in and out of our clothes and feel better about ourselves on a daily basis. Well, that's all really good stuff, but that's not what weight loss brings you. In fact, weight loss is such a bad way to describe that. You'll hear me talking, and hence the name of this podcast, The Lean Life, about living in a lean way. Reducing body fat and increasing lean muscle is the perfect combination for that body confidence. However, we so intently or not focus on the scales. Yet the scales are such a bad way to measure your progress. The scales make people sad. Let me run this situation by you for a second. Let's say you weigh yourself on day one and then you weigh yourself again after, say, 30 days. If you weighed less, you would feel good. So what might you do? Well, people that are generally fixated on weight tend to be in this reward psychology where if you lose weight, you reward yourself because you've probably been on a diet, you've probably been restricting yourself from foods that you want to eat. So you go and indulge. Hence the fact that you never really get that permanent change because that weight goes back on. It's a really dangerous thing to do. You shouldn't muck around with your diet like that. Your body goes into protection mode and it really does store that body fat just in case you starve it again. It's a false way of getting that success. But that's just one way that people use the scales to manipulate that environment of success. You and I could lose weight right now. We could lose weight tomorrow if we just didn't eat, if we dehydrated ourselves, much like boxers do before a fight, and we got on the scales. We could lose. I've done it. Fighting myself when I've fought in sport jiu-jitsu, I've had to cut weight by up to 6 kilos the day before. Now, when I wake up on that day and I go for my weigh and I feel like utter rubbish, I weigh 6 kilos less. That's almost a stone. I'm not thinking, wow, look at me, I'm successful in my weight loss. I'm feeling confident about myself. It's because I've lost water. It's because I'm dehydrated. And you could weigh yourself on that second day and you could be a little bit dehydrated and think that you've been successful. It doesn't make any sense. You've not been successful. You just haven't drunk enough water. It's as simple as that. Because weight is made up of 5 main contributors: water, fluids, bones, organs, muscle, and body fat. And it's that 5th factor, that 5th contributor, body fat, which is the only one that we ever really want to reduce. You wouldn't want to lose bones, you wouldn't want to reduce the amount of organs you've got, and you certainly wouldn't want to reduce the amount of muscle that you have. I have never, in my years as a personal trainer, working in gyms, had anybody come to me saying they want to lose lean muscle. It just isn't what happens. People, plenty, hundreds, thousands of people, have asked me for tips on weight loss. But it's just the term that we use. It isn't the actual thing that we want to achieve. We want to achieve fat loss. And over time, if that means you'll lose weight, then that's cool. But the simple fact of the matter is that you might not lose weight, but still lose fat. Let me run this situation by you. You may have heard the term that muscle weighs more than fat. Well, it doesn't, because if you have a kilo of muscle, it still weighs the same as a kilo of fat. It's still a kilo. But the difference is that muscle is so much denser. For a small area, small surface area of muscle, that could be a kilo's worth of muscle, body fat would be way bigger. So think about your body. Think about if you went onto an exercise program, you started watching what you eat, and you had a bit of body fat that you could pinch. After, say, 30 days, that bit of body fat that you could pinch was a lot less or maybe even gone. So you know that you've been successful in increasing your lean physical appearance. Yet when you weigh yourself, you're still the same. Does that mean you failed? Of course it doesn't. Because what's happened there is that by doing resistance training, you've been effective in training your body, your exercise has been in the right direction, and your food has supported that. You've managed to reduce your body fat and at the same time increase your lean muscle by maybe just even a small amount, but enough to cancel out the weight that you lost by losing that body fat. You've added a small bit of muscle, and that weight of that dense fibre, muscle fibres, collection of muscle fibres, has set your weight to go back to what it was. So when you're there and you're telling your friends about your program, and your friend says to you, you know what, you look amazing. Is that a smaller dress size? Are they smaller jeans? You look really trim, you look really lean, you look like the man right now. You're not going to turn around to them and say, yeah, thanks, but I still weigh the same. You know, that's taking away that success from you. You deserve that success. The truth is, nobody is out there picking you up, feeling you, how much you weigh. You haven't got your weight written on your forehead. That's not the real world. We have this fixation on this topic because of the way that we've been taught culturally. Weight loss is everywhere. It's online, it's on billboards, it's in newspapers. People talk about it all the time. I mean, my wife is consistently telling me off for listening into other people's conversation when we go to restaurants or cafeterias, because more often than not, people talk about weight. They get onto the topic of it. And they don't just talk about exercise, they don't just talk about dieting, they physically talk about weight. They say, oh, you know, I've lost 2 pounds here, 2 pounds there, or I feel like I just want to lose a few pounds. You don't. That's not the goal. That is not the goal. I've had people come to me saying, right, I need to lose 3 kilos. Now, I understand what you mean. You know that you've got too much body fat and you want that to go down. But let's not go around putting names and numbers on things that we are unable to predict. Because if I get you to that stage where you feel amazing and you get into that dress or those pair of jeans, and as my client, you've achieved the result of becoming a leaner version of you, and you turn around to me and say, but Tommy, I still weigh the same. So we failed here. Then there lies the problem. There lies the problem. It isn't about weight. It's not about weight loss. It's about reducing your body fat percentage and increasing your lean muscle. That's why I like to call this podcast The Lean Life, and that's why I have a product called Think Lean, Get Lean, and that's why I'm passionate about spreading the message of lean living. Because we want to cut the fat out. We want to take that fat on our body and reduce it. You know, that fat is there, it's making us unhappy, it's making us feel self-conscious. We all feel a lot better with reduced body fat percentage. No one out there has ever told me that they want to increase their body fat, unless of course it's for medical reasons, and that's completely different. But the average person, the average Joe and Jane out there in the streets, want to reduce their body fat, but they call it weight loss. So let's end that today. You could be the person amongst your circle of friends that isn't talking about weight loss, but instead talking about lean living and reducing body fat percentage. So that's how we can move on from this. It's such an interesting topic. The truth is, when you're looking at weight loss, you're actually measuring the wrong thing. It's like measuring for anything else in life, like maybe you're, I don't know, fitting a kitchen or a new bathroom, and you want to put some tiles on the wall, but you start measuring the floor. It's like, it's not the right thing to measure. It's not going to give you an accurate representation of what you're trying to achieve. So think of it like this. Think of it like project managing your own body. So if you were the project manager of project fat reduction in your own body, then how would you tackle that? You know, you'd want to know your information, your facts. You'd want to know how much muscle you had, how much body fat you had, and what you're working with here. And you look at your weight as the collective total of all these things. So you go, okay, right, well, if that goes down, then so be it. But what we really want to achieve here is the body fat to reduce. This lean muscle shouldn't be reducing. We need that lean muscle because that's going to be our engine for our workouts. It's going to give us that great tone that we need and that we want. So we want to keep that muscle. We've got to keep these bones here. We've definitely got to keep these organs. And we've got to keep hydrated. So body fat's the only thing that's going to go here. You know, that's the problem. Let's reduce that. How do we do that? By exercising in the right way, using cardio and weights, and eating a balanced, healthy, lean nutrition plan. Hence, I didn't use the word diet, but nutrition plan, because it's about long-term change. And if you've been listening to my podcast now for a number of episodes or follow me on social media, you'll know that I'm all about long-term change. I'm not here to give you a quick fix, because a quick fix is false. There's no such thing. I mean, I can give you fast solutions that you can start using right now to make impact. But I'm talking about future results that are going to stay with you. They're going to be realistic, and you can achieve these because you're a real person, and I can provide that information. I can help you achieve real results. It's possible. Trust me, it's possible. So, use many means to measure yourself. If you're standing on the scales, then you're being mugged off every time you do it. Every time. If you have a good result, it's a false result. If you have a bad result, it's a false result. Either way, you're making yourself sad by doing that. Get a good result, reward yourself, end up getting worse. Get a bad result, feel like crap, start to make yourself feel better, maybe reach out for food to do that. It's not a good place. It changes your emotions, especially when you're doing it first thing in the morning. It changes the way that you feel about yourself. You, the only person that you'll ever be. And you're changing the way that you feel about yourself in a negative way when you're doing this. So, scales, take it with a pinch of salt. Still use them, but if you can get scales that measure your body fat percentage, then go ahead and do that. But don't do it every day. Don't even do it every week. Do it at an absolute most every 2 weeks. Okay, if you're doing the right thing, let me tell you some truth right now. Truth. If you're doing the right things, exercising regularly in the right way, eating the right food, thinking lean, and I nearly said leanly then, I don't think it's a word, maybe we should invent a new word. Thinking lean, then you will achieve your result. It's inevitable. You haven't got to keep checking in. Just get on with it and do your thing. And every 2 to 4 weeks, you get to enjoy a positive result. Your body fat's reduced, your lean muscle's the same or slightly higher, and you're feeling so much better. But also use other ways of doing it. Use your clothing. Find something that is a bit tight for you and try it on again after 2 weeks. See how it feels. Keep track of that. Use a journal. Write down how it feels, how it fits, what you're thinking when you put it on, what you need to go and work on for next time. That's how we move forward. We think about it strategically, like you're project managing your own body, not just out there taking everything by chance, restricting your calories, following this fad, following that fad, and not taking responsibility for your own stuff. You know, you've got to make sure that you're doing all the right things and just trust the process. So this is about getting that lean thinking. The term weight loss, you know what that means now. It's not the same as what it used to mean. It used to be the be-all and end-all, the success factor. Now it's just a process. It's a combination of muscle, body fat, bones, organs, fluids. So think about weight wins instead of weight loss. How can you achieve that win? Well, you can live your day making sure that you are choosing lean food, lean drinks, that you're thinking lean in a focused and motivated manner in order to get your exercise done no matter what, making it a priority, and making sure that you take it one choice and one day at a time to create that change. That compound effect is a different life experience living through your one and only body. You get to enjoy being you more. You get to enjoy the way your clothes look and feel. Your confidence levels go up. Your health goes up. You feel so much more vibrant and energetic and ready and just fully immersed and engaged in what's going on around you. It's such a great feeling when you know that you're onto a winner with the way that you're living your life in a lean way. So, ladies and gents, I hope that you've enjoyed this episode on weight. It's quite a vast topic and one that we definitely will be revisiting on a regular basis. But I just wanted you to know today the deal about that term, weight loss. You know, this is a term here that takes up to 1 million hits on Google every single week. every single week. People searching for losing weight every single week, and it's costing roughly £1.31p in British currency for advertising on Google for that one click. £1.31, because it's such a competitive topic. People are looking for it all the time, and that's just on one place, one platform. People talk about it all the time. There's probably people talking about it right now within like a 5 meter or 10 meter circumference of where you're at if you're in a public place. Guaranteed. Next time you're in a coffee shop or a restaurant, just listen. But make sure your wife doesn't tell you off, because mine, she gets fed up with it, but it's fascinating. It is fascinating. So again, if you've got any questions, you can reach out to me. This is the Lean Life Podcast. My name is Tommy Gentleman. You can find me on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Tommy Gentleman Coaching. I look forward to connecting with you in the future. In the meantime, subscribe on iTunes. And if you want to go and watch the video of this episode, then you'll see me moving my arms a lot and talking at the camera on YouTube. Just search for Tommy Gentleman, and you'll see the episode up there. If you have any questions to discuss in future podcasts, then please just hit me up on Facebook, ask me the questions for the podcast, and if they're any good and they suit the content, I'll address them. Feel free to share with your friends if you feel like this is going to be useful content for them, and I'll look forward to discussing the next topic with you very, very soon. That's all for now, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.